Yo, what up guys, ARI GOLD to the energy. Today, welcome to day 4 of 2020. Today we are going to discuss self-awareness. I just recorded this whole 15-minute segment and I realized the record button was off and I was like, what the fuck just happened? But it's okay. It's meant to be because I had to kind of go, I guess, more in detail, so it's okay. So anyway, so this is a reshoot again, the same thing, and I'm just gonna go in prop. Self-awareness. What is self-awareness? Self-awareness is very kind of correlated with abundance and very much correlated with just living your life, because if we are self-aware of who we are truly, then we can actually do more with our lives than less. Meaning a lot of times, like many of us were actually on autopilot mode all day. I was on it for the longest time. I literally had a lot of money, I was making a lot of money, but I didn't actually realize what was actually good for me and what was bad for me. I didn't know that making a lot of money wasn't everything because I was using so much energy. I would smoke cigarettes, drink a lot of coffee, just stay awake, just be more productive. I would have very unhealthy girlfriends because they were all gold diggers. They were just like all about like taking my money. Not trying to lower the other race, but that was just fact. I was just attracting a lot of fake people, con artists, and a lot of bad friends that no longer are in my world. And I was not self-aware. If I was self-aware, I wouldn't have any of those and I would have saved my money and I would have right now even be more successful than I am right now. But I'm very grateful because I live in the moment, and being self-aware is also being in the moment, meaning if you are self-aware of what is actually viable in your reality and what is not, you can actually let things go, so then you can actually allow things to flow into your reality. And that is self-awareness itself. Like many of us, we actually have jobs as well that we are not actually fond of, but at the same time, because we've been doing it for so long, we feel like it's part of us now, so therefore why change the space, why change the niche, why not just let it just flow and just until we retire, become 70, whatever, 65, whatever the age is, and just kind of travel, do the whole cruise, traveling the world, or whatever the people that are, and whatever people do when they retire. But that's literally all autopilot. That's literally conditioning by the society for them to kind of control and to say, hey, you give us all the money, you work your whole life, and then when you're done, here's your retirement plan, go travel. Like, it's just kind of like, it's almost like whatever benefits them, and that's not being self-aware. Being self-aware is living for the things that actually make you happy, doing things that actually kind of count, so that when you're on your deathbed at the age of 80 or 90, whatever age you are there, hopefully never, you won't say, fuck, I should have lived my life because I wasn't aware of what was actually working for me and what wasn't, and what was actually my bliss, and what actually brought bliss into my life and what didn't, you know? Like, once you know what is like painful in your life and what is causing you pain and what is causing you pleasure, which I'm going to go into in the next video, then you actually know what to actually keep and what to actually lose. So if you know things that actually cause you pain, then it's very smart for you to just let that thing go, because knowing that that's not really what you should carry on to or have even like in your life. And by letting that go, you can only then focus on pleasure, and guess what? From pleasure, you only get good things. Because if something is causing you pleasure and making you feel bliss and happiness, then you can actually go wrong. You can only go right. I'm not saying go and do a lot of drugs because that makes you happy temporarily. I'm saying like what actually makes you happy. Like let's say if you love painting, for example, that makes you happy. You will put that under pleasure. If you like to go fishing, pleasure. If you like to make videos, content creating, it can be on any platform, pleasure. Let's do more of that. It's very much being aware, being self-aware of what you're good at and what your passion is as well, because many things that we enjoy doing is part of our passion that we are not conscious of. So once you live consciously, and consciousness requires self-awareness, if you're not aware of your surroundings, of your life, of yourself, then you cannot possibly be conscious, because then you're literally on the autopilot, unconscious kind of a autopilot mode, you know? And that is literally what self-awareness is. It's just knowing who you are, knowing what your passion is, knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses, and whatever you're not really enjoying, letting that go, and just kind of like feeling in the moment of hey, this is like serving me bliss, so I'm gonna follow that, and this is what actually I should do because it makes me more happy. Fuck the money part, how much it pays. I'm not saying go broke, but if you're stable in revenue, if you're stable with money and you're actually happy as well at the same time, that is literally priceless. If you're making $5 million and you're unhappy, that's actually not healthy, and that's not gonna last too long because eventually you're gonna have so much money that it's gonna have to the point that you're gonna be old, or that money is gonna drown you by making you feel unhealthy or even sick, and you're gonna regret of why you didn't actually follow your passion and why you're not self-aware and why you weren't actually following what you love doing, and instead of things that other people thought you should do because that's what pays the bills, or that's what kind of gives you a flashy lifestyle of like spending and showing off your materials to other people that don't really care about you, but they just wanted you to fail. I mean, there's a point of living in that way, and that's when self-awareness comes and literally rescues you from not having any regret when you get to that level of like, hey, I'm at this age and I have done everything that I loved and I have nothing to have any regret for, and I have nothing to regret, you know? Like knowing that, it's such a beautiful feeling. Like right now, like I know I go back to my youth. It's getting a little chilly. I go back to my youth when I was younger. I have no regret of what I did. There's some stuff that I did wrong, but I enjoy myself so much that I have nothing to regret for. And the good news about that is, like, I didn't hold myself back. Whatever risk there was, I took it. Whatever I wanted to do, I always did it because I was always an entrepreneur. Even though I made a lot of mistakes, and all of us do, because we're just learning. It's all part of the process of being human. It's like the learning experience of being human, and awakening to our true power, to our true self of who we really are. That's literally where the self-awareness again comes in. Because if we are aware of who we are so powerful, because at that point we become limitless and nothing can actually like block us, and we can only allow abundance in. Because if we know that we are limitless spiritual beings, which is like in this body temporarily just visiting Earth, just like helping Earth to ascend to the next density, the next dimension, then knowing that, we will not take anything seriously and we'll just have fun, enjoy, and be silly. Like being silly, being happy, smiling, doing what you love is literally what you're supposed to do. That's what your inner being, your spiritual entity actually wants you to do, because that's literally what you're supposed to do. Because if you're happy, you will raise your vibration and you'll raise your frequency, and you'll be able to tap into any reality that you like to create for yourself. So if whatever you want to become, you can become that in a much quicker pace if you're just happy and you're already doing that in your life by actually taking action and feeling that you are, and thinking that you are, knowing that that reality exists, visualizing it, and actually doing the little steps, the little work, just to kind of change your direction, change your navigation to that direction. And once you do that with self-awareness, then you will allow everything else to just kind of formulate, and you will be surprised how beautiful your reality will become within seconds, because you will literally block off any kind of a negativity, any kind of ego, any kind of puppeteering by your ego that is trying to kind of interfere in your life and block you from creating your true reality. And you will just be able to just kind of like almost like skip all the little steps of like having to do the whole pain and gain and everything else, and you'll be able to get to that reality that you always dreamed of, because there will be no hurdles, no obstacles. It will just be like you creating with your mind by being self-aware of what is viable in your reality and what is not, and choosing the pleasure over pain, and that alone will literally jumpstart your new beginning called reality. Not the reality that you have been conditioned to believe that it is, but the reality that you are destined to be. And that's it. Have an amazing, beautiful, happy, super cool Saturday evening or Sunday, fun day, morning, daytime, whatever continent you are in. And like always, much love, peace, namaste, stay vibey, bye-bye, bye! And that's a wrap.